Hi everyone, my name is Angel Apparano, and today we're going to be doing a demonstration implementing ACID transactions in Python with PostgreSQL. And during this demo, we're going to hop back in between Python and Postgres just to ensure that our commands are executing properly and our transactions are reflected in the database. So the first step is to import our libraries. So we have scicop G2 and tabulate. And then we're going to wrap everything into a function called ACID transactions. We're going to execute our Postgres calls. We'll print beginning to let us know that the function has begun. We're going to set our connection to scicop G2 connect. We got our host, our database, username, and password. Then we're going to print our connection once that's established. Um, and for all of our transactions, we want to ensure that the isolation level is 3 for serializable. And then our atomicity, right, auto commit to false. Uh, to ensure that we're being ASCII compliant. So once we establish this connection, we're going to set our cursor to connection equals cursor. Um, and then so for every single call that we execute, we want our cursor to execute that call. So whether it's create table statements, creating keys, transactions, or even if we wanted to execute a SQL query like a select star from table, group by or join, our function is going to allow us to execute that. And we're going to put that into a for loop. So, we could call as many uh, parameters as we want. And if there is an error, we want to print that error. So we as the programmer know, something went wrong. And then we're going to print a line that the transaction could not be completed, so the database will be rolled back, right? And then our connection's actually going to roll back, com.rollback. We'll revert to the state that we were prior to implementing the transactions. And then finally, once we have everything, we're going to commit to the transaction, and then we're going to close our connection. So firstly, let's drop our tables that we have already created earlier in the year. So we know our table doesn't exist, and let's just refresh our database. So yep, no tables. And then now let's create our tables. So from stock, we could do product. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And let's insert data into our tables. So we got product, stock, depot. Okay, now let's create our keys. So we want to create our primary keys. This is very important for this transaction because we are deleting a product, which that product is a primary key in the product table. We want to ensure that our other tables, so our foreign tables, have those foreign key constraints to maintain integrity in the database. Do that here. And then we could actually refresh our tables. So we're going to be working with stock and product. We got our foreign key constraints. And we got our primary key constraints. Perfect. And now let's implement this transaction. So this is a deletion transaction. We're going to delete from stock and product where prod ID equals 1. Right, we set our isolation level to serializable. So we want to make sure that we delete the product P1 first in stock, then product, right? Because product ID 1 is a primary key in the product table. And then it's a foreign key in the stock table. So looks like it ran successfully. Let's go to product and then stock. Perfect. So it looks like everything executed properly and our connections are all closed. I hope everyone enjoyed. Thank you.